date is August 21st and the time is 2:30. This is a hybrid meeting. This meeting will be video recorded and broadcast over local access channel 8 and to the town website, www.eastham.mass.gov. All right, let's take a roll call for a quorum, please. Francis present.
Linda Dorflinger present.
Oh, Michelle Vico present. Joanna Buffington present.
And that's Susan. Okay, okay, we have a quorum. We're gonna start the meeting. We may have another member join us. Okay, the first order of business is approve the June minutes. Any corrections?
I wasn't here, but they look good.
They look good to me.
Who did them? They're very, yeah, nice.
Very
Good job.
nice for your first minutes. They were very informative. All right, anything, Linda?
Nothing. Looks good.
Okay, so
Move to approve.
yes.
Oh.
Yeah, yes. Yes for Francis?
Yeah. Linda.
I
Yes,
wasn't there, but
I think you still can.
okay, yes,
Yes, yes.
because then we have a.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
minutes.
Meetings approved,
So-
minutes approved,
I have a
4-0.
question about the May minutes, which I did, but I wasn't at the June meeting, and it said they were approved. Did anyone turn them in, or do I need to?
Oh,
Let's check in with, what's your name, Rachel?
And I didn't.
I just sent them to Frank mine.
Yeah, okay. Let me check with Rachel.
Okay.
You had May,
Something.
May, specific-
April is
April was.
Rob. He's
Okay.
still working on those. Okay, so what we do is, it's Rachel Smith at the town clerk's office.
Okay.
And this is part of being the clerk of the day. It's R. Smith at eastham-mass.gov.
Okay.
It's at the top there.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and send mine. Will
Send it to her again, and then if she's had it, it'll be
Okay.
fine.
minutes, yeah, because I'll
Thanks,
just
Joanne.
change it to final. Okay,
Good. Okay, that's good.
good, thanks. Here. Okay.
Okay, wait a second.
And
Here's my-
does somebody else have to take?
You know what? I'll do it if she doesn't show up. I'm just looking for my notes. Okay, we have it. Okay, so OSRP, no update. Michelle and I are gonna have a work session with Shayna September 5th. She just sent something out that it would be at 10 o'clock in the morning in person here at this small meeting room.
Yep.
And I mean, a lot's been done, but we have to recalibrate what's been done, what's.
Right, and I have what I had.
Yes, and you had some stuff anyway.
Right.
And I thought it'd be good to meet in person. That way you can work together. Thank you for joining that group because we can use your expertise. All right. So the next thing is land management, which I do have some information. The DCR has awarded the land stewardship funding to Eastham. This is for the Wiley Park Land Management Plan.
DCR.
The Department of Conservation Resources from the state.
Okay, right, got it.
$4,693.60 was awarded. If you remember, that is where's that? 75% of the cost. We were estimating the cost be about 6,000. So that came in. So here we are back on staffing.
And that's to be used for what?
The forestry survey, an analysis of the Wiley Park Nickerson
Got it.
Forest, the health of the forest, the needs going forward, and what do you call it, a survey of what's there, the plants from a forestry perspective. It'll be part of the land management plan for Wiley. And the first forester, we're in the southeast area, and it's a very large area because we get the least forests of all of Massachusetts. So there was a forester from Easton, E-A-S-T-O-N, but he this summer said he was interested in the spring, but said, I'm retiring. so he's gone. There is a forester in Mashpee who, Shana is working on, getting to do this project in the fall. He said he was interested, but she first reached out to him in the spring, but this summer hadn't been able to reconnect to get an actual scheduling date. But her understanding is that the foresters are very busy in the summer, so they weren't gonna do this to the fall anyway. But she's on that. So that's good news. That keeps that moving forward. And the next business is the conservation restrictions. They've been on our agenda for over a year now, and
Over a year,
we've been
over 10 years.
10 years, but I meant every meeting we've
Oh,
been
right.
bringing it. We've been waiting for a long time. And I don't know, Alex brought your good charm and good luck last year when you joined. And the package has been recorded in the registry of deeds.
Yes. Yep, so the registry of deeds accepted the CR and it's recorded, so it is now official. And this is for the land bank CPA properties. CR.
And that's the package.
That's a copy of the package, yeah. I'll keep the original on file.
All right. You can keep it to look at it, Joanna, since
Well,
you're
I
very familiar.
have a copy
Oh, you do?
through Mark because of ECF.
Yeah.
Okay,
So if you,
I'll put this in the files for,
it's in the files, but if there's an extra, I don't need enough, but if this doesn't, if nobody wants this, I can stick it in.
Yeah,
ECF.
your files.
Yeah,
but you have the official copy and
This is-
and
yes,
you're
this is the
there
official copy.
and on the, okay, super.
Yeah.
Well, that was a
So-
long haul and you know the
So
history,
next
Joanna.
Step on this for ECF is to, hey, Kate. Is to.
Hi, Kate.
Do baseline reports on all of them for monitoring. And, there's money, CPA funds, is $6,000 of CPA funds for ECF to pay somebody to do that, because ECF can't do it, but, but
Okay,
with just, just us. So, we'll be working with Mark Robinson for an intern or something.
Yeah, I know some more interns. Quite a bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Do you know who monitors? Who monitors these, the CR? Is that ECF? or
ECF, yeah,
ECF?
yeah. And that's, right, that's always gonna be a challenge. The CPA funds, when we just heard that other towns have been able to get CPA funds to support monitoring, you can't do it for. You can't get CPA funds to manage public lands, but you can get CPA funds to monitor them. Yes, so I believe the initial application was for $12,000, because we had no idea what it was, and CPA said, well, let's see how this works, and then of course COVID hit, and all these got delayed, and so, but they awarded 6,000, but it's in the town, it's in a town account, they wouldn't distribute it, which is wise,
Okay.
until ECF sends an invoice for, so. But the funds are there to start this, so I'll follow up with Mark and Henry and see when we're gonna, get.
is this, how
Help.
complicated is this baseline report? I mean, what's involved?
It's pretty straightforward. It
Is
took
it-
time. Takes a lot of time,
Yeah.
to put it together.
There's template, in fact, I think I got the templates from OCT, Orleans,
Okay,
I think. I don't know,
Okay.
Mark has Mark Robinson.
all right. So, Open Space Committee, we let this up our agenda now. We don't follow up with ECF.
Oh,
So,
we have no,
we have the other ones, the
We have the
CRs
well-
at the
the
wells,
Wellsfield
the well
one.
site. And that's currently with the state, according to what you told
Yeah,
me.
so I talked to Jackie about it.
Yeah.
That one's at the state,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure what a timeline looks like
Yeah,
for that one.
but we'll
But
just, we'll keep that.
Yeah.
talk-
keep you updated
We'll
as I,
keep that on the agendas too.
Yeah.
Hello, Kate. How are you, dear? Nice to see you.
Yeah, you get us too.
Yeah, okay. So, all right, conservation restrictions, finally some progress. It was several years, Joanna. It was. Okay, moving on to stewardship. Wiley,
Preceded Jackie.
it did?
Yeah, it was-
Wow.
was Sheila still was the town manager. when it
Wow.
started.
Wow.
Yes, so what?
Terrific. Okay, Wiley Park under stewardship. First of all, thank you, Linda, for sending that picture of the no kayaking, no boating sign that they have to, they keep at
It's
the
not-
entrance.
It's not exactly what we recommended,
But anyway,
it's something's there
Yeah.
Right.
Where's that sign?
at the booth.
At the booth.
and they
okay.
bring it in at night. What do they just tack it on?
I don't know what they do with it, but here's one sign,
Yeah.
and you can scroll.
So did anything happen
Right.
with the
Well, that's-
recommendation?
Right, okay, now,
And I'm thinking that.
we'll talk
you know,
about
maybe
that.
Yeah.
And if you scroll, then there's the
Yep.
sign at the booth. She brought it up, held it up to me.
So who do we assume
Okay.
made these signs? The rec department or DPW?
Did you know about it, Alex?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's news to me.
Ah, Um. Is that? No. So the committee, which was Rob,
yeah, Karen's
Linda,
way
and
hands.
you, Karen.
But we need a letter in.
Oh, so let's go over to that. If we go to the computer there, I think we can let her in.
here's the other side. No, no voting. no, I have-
Right.
Here she is.
Hi, Karen. Seems like some.
Hello, Karen.
Sign funds and sign go ahead. Maybe we should be partnering with since we're doing all the back.
This would be good.
Yeah,
She can
so
talk
where
to
they
us
come
about this
I
one.
don't know.
Hello, Karen.
Hi, sorry for being late.
That's okay. All right, so at Karen, we're just on, under stewardship Wiley Park, and we just, gonna start talking about the signage. Now, I know the open space, subgroup, the three of you, gave the recommendations, and I think ComsCon approved it. And where are we on getting the signs actually up, the physical signs up?
So the physical signs, I don't think anyone got. The signs that, I just saw there, it's new to me. But I don't think any of the signs that the open space made the recommendations for have been put up yet. I think that's just like staffing.
So not at Nickerson nor on the Herringbrook entrance to Wiley.
Right,
There were no.
Right.
I haven't seen
Right,
that, yeah.
right. So that's just, I don't have a timeline for that, but it's been received. And,
Was it a money issue or a time issue?
it could be a time issue, and I'll touch base with, Stephanie at, DPW, see what she has to say about that.
Okay. Okay.
Because, yeah. our-
Were there,
our
were there
timelines
problems
are
this summer? I mean, that was summer's our biggest, traffic.
Yeah, I mean,
Did any problems come to your attention?
no issues have come to my attention.
Okay.
Have you heard otherwise, Karen, about any issues at Wiley Park this summer?
No, I haven't, but they would have come to you, I think.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, so we got through the season.
I
But,
guess, what issues have come up with prior summers? Is it,
well, people launching boats, from several places on the pond that weren't weren't designated for boats. Littering,
better,
bringing kayaks down and paddle boards now, were the main concerns the last few years. Okay, well, that's, bicycle riding too fast on the trails was another
Yeah, we
one.
did have one, this was a one-time incident where someone complained about bike rider on trails.
Yeah, yeah,
That was like, I guess, the only complaint I've received this summer. The other one off that.
okay. I think the consensus of the open space committee is that the signs are necessary for education, so
Right.
all that packet. Over this next few months to get it going.
Right.
And because we still really feel that's necessary.
Right.
Okay,
Alex, can I ask if the cameras have gone up?
Cameras have not gone up, but we have just received the cameras. So I'd say within the next couple weeks, we'll get those up. On that topic, Alex W. recommended that, with the signage that we have drafted for our reasons behind blocking off access, it would be beneficial to also note that the area is being monitored, just to be transparent about that. And
okay, all right. Are those gonna go up this fall when you get the camera?
yes, we have the cameras.
Okay, and
Yeah.
they're gonna function over the winter?
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
All right. Right. So Sandy, Wiley Park continues to be the signage issue. On Wiley Park also, I met with the Forest Committee. And they are submitting a fall planting plan to the Conservation Commission for the triangle area that we call, that open space that we don't. Bermuda triangles, some people call it. And they're gonna do the planting October 19th. They're gonna be planting beach plum, witch hazel, viburnum, high bush cranberry, low fencing to protect it. And this is a communication issue, which I brought up to the forestry committee and with Alex. Those walking down, there were these logs that were together, and we were concerned that the walking space, there was a foot walking space that could be dangerous. And we had put in a request to move them. It turns out the forest committee people want to incorporate those logs within their design to use it to stop the flow of water. So the plantings would be in front of the logs, maybe moving them, shifting them, and incorporate in the design. And it's a very knowledgeable committee, and I think the design, when you see it on the Conservation Commission, you'll be pleased with it. So then I brought up the communication. Things don't happen quickly. But if those logs had been actually moved, and they wanted to use it, who was speaking to who?
Yeah.
And so they're going to be reaching out to Alex so that you are aware of their
So
thinking.
Mike did submit an administrative review.
Good.
With, I believe, the same plan.
Yeah, right. So that and it wouldn't just be happenstance of me having to be in the two.
And so that'll be on the agenda for this upcoming Tuesday's.
Great.
session.
Great. And they also visualize the entrance by the playground where they put the bayberries about a year ago. Some are okay, some have died. They really monitor their plantings and will be putting some new bayberries or some other plants up there to fill in that area. So they're keeping a good eye on it. Okay, anything else on Wiley? Okay, let's move on to,
Oh, there is one thing. I did talk to you, Francis, a while ago about a communication from Ed Daniels on where we've chosen to close off and restore access along the pond. So Concom did talk about it at a meeting. I think it was about a month ago, and we've decided to invite a couple of representatives from the Eastham Dog Owners Association to our next work session, which will be September 26th, so that we can get directly from them what they want to see happen and have a conversation around it. So if Open Space wants to send an additional representative, or if you want me just to report back after the meeting. You also can watch the work session. It'll be on, we have a Zoom link for it.
What was the date of that work session? September?
September 26th from 6 to 8 p.m. I'm thinking we'll probably put them at the head of the agenda.
Yeah.
Maybe give them 10 or 15 minutes
Okay,
Well, obviously
at
not,
most.
but I know Rob's on the, so I think.
yeah, he's
he's
a,
on
it's those, Joanna, you know, without a dog,
Yeah, but that's past my bedtime.
yeah.
Yeah, so we'd only allow one or two representatives from the Dog Owners Association to actually participate as
So they can have
Okay.
okay.
a work session.
So all summer, have there been any changes from last summer, where there are 3 openings? The 3 big openings, the 2 in the triangle and the 1 in Nickerson have been open all summer?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. All right,
So how do things like that get resolved?
Well,
I mean, do people just keep talking about it?
well, Concom gets the deciding vote because we have 2 distinct sets of statutory responsibilities at Wiley. One is under the Conservation Commission Act. So the Conservation Commission has care and custody of town-owned conservation areas.
Right.
So we're like the final word on whether something can or can't get done. And then for something like this, because it's in wetlands and in the wetland buffer zone, there's also the Wetlands Protection Act and the local wetlands bylaw. So we'd have to approve things on 2 separate
Right.
levels.
Okay.
One, I guess, being more along the lines of how is this space getting managed, and the other one in terms of how do you permit any work you need to do or any changes.
Okay, thanks.
thank you, Karen. All right, Sandy Meadow. All right, Alex got some, unfortunate news from Follix Graphics saying that they were not a full-service graphics company and could not correct the resolution of the photos in question.
Correct.
Yeah.
And they provided us with some websites where we'd be able to source images ourselves. There might be a cost attached to sourcing those images, and then she gave us a resolution that we should be aiming for. I think it's 241.
Yeah, she wrote out what we needed.
Yep. So as far as next steps on that. Sarah.
Well, was there any staff available? We talked about that.
Yeah,
To spend the time. I mean, we know the design, we know the pictures we want. So it'd be, is there a way to search for those same pictures on those websites?
yeah. I mean, if it's only a matter of finding similar pictures to what Karen has already put together, I think that should be pretty easy. We're just like looking for.
But it would take, when you just scroll through 1,000 pictures, 5,000 pictures. I mean, is there a process?
There's search words, right?
Yeah.
Search words, yeah.
Yeah. But is part of the issue, the pictures of like the bowl itself and that we got professionally taken?
Well,
So those shouldn't be an issue because
Those should-
we
go ahead.
took those images.
yeah, Alex took them and we approved them. And those have the resolution. So that piece is good. It's substituting the, it's been a while since I've looked at this, to be honest. The different Karen, the different
Like
birds,
species?
yeah, and
Yeah.
species. Karen had
Yeah.
picked out really good photos. We just have to get those in the right resolution. So we'd like to keep those choices intact.
I think if you search, I mean, I haven't poked around these stock image websites. If you search a specific species,
And
I'm
that,
sure it'll
okay,
be pretty
right,
easy to.
right,
So they're saying pull a stock image as opposed to the.
Yeah.
Well, I do have contact info from all the Wiki Commons photos, so we might also try reaching out to them and see if they have a higher resolution version. I haven't done that. Just haven't had I haven't had time and energy, but I
That's where you source the,
that's where I sourced a bunch of
okay.
stuff.
Would that be something you'd be able to follow up on, or?
Yeah, I think I can manage that over the weekend, send out a bunch of emails.
is it, can I forward the message from Fossil to the other people in the committee?
Certainly.
And maybe
Yeah.
Kate, you could look at that and see if you had a strategy that you could
Yeah.
suggest.
Can I, so I just would need the list of the species that we're looking to
Right,
have
right.
pictures of, and I can have the sites, or do I not have access to?
You would have access to
Okay.
the sites. I think if we were to like actually download images from the sites, you think we'd have to make an account.
Yeah,
Okay.
most of those sites will let you make an account to download screen resolution samples.
So I can put that together and then show everyone. And put together a presentation, of species in the stock photos.
Yeah, I didn't look at that email to see what sites were recommended, but National Geographic also has a stock site, which is
Okay.
really good.
So then you would need specific species. Yeah, okay,
They're all listed in the draft
okay.
version of that page.
The draft version of,
Meet the locals.
yeah,
It has the name, and I think it has the scientific name.
Alex, can you forward the note from the latest from Janine to Kate Logan?
Yep.
Okay, so she'll have that, because there were 3 recommended sites to go to for photographs. If you have that, and then if you can't find the original drafts we did the sign, Kate, I'll forward it again,
Okay.
because I know I have it in
Okay.
here. I'll forward that to you again.
and I've got the drafted signs, the bowl
Right,
and the meet the locals.
Meet
So
the Locals is
I'll
one, yeah, in the bowl.
forward that to Kate as well.
So maybe, Kate, if you can come up with a way to approach this,
Yeah.
not just dumping this all on you, but
No,
you
it's fine. I'll
have
see.
facility with this, and then
Yep.
if there's some grunt work, I can do grunt work, but I can't be the brains.
I think I'll at least be able to go through and vet what ideally one site has everything we need. I imagine National Geographic would.
No,
so
that was a good suggestion,
Yeah.
Karen.
Sure, it's the most expensive, but maybe not.
Yeah, but these are not necessarily common photos that other stock agencies might have.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get them from National Geographic, Karen, at the beginning?
You know,
No, I got them from Wiki Commons.
Wiki Commons.
Well,
Something
yeah,
I'm not-
that's,
It's a Creative Commons license, which means we didn't have to pay. As long as we gave photo credit, which we were going to do on our website.
okay, so I forwarded those.
Okay, good. All
And
right,
then do you want to,
the
good.
trailhead sign, we need input from Paul's office,
yeah, and
map of the property.
correct, Paul. Well, actually, I'll give you this update afterwards. Anyway, Can I, provide an update on the ADA trail?
Yes, please.
So John from, the DPW has taken interest in that project, and I was hoping to schedule a site visit with him prior to our meeting this afternoon. I wasn't able to do that, so a site visit with him to the property is forthcoming. And that'll give him an idea to see, what the committee it's thinking regarding this project, and if some committee members would like to attend that site visit, I think that also would be
Right,
beneficial.
right. So when you get the date,
Yeah, I'll share that. So I'm hopeful that the DPW would be able to complete this project for us. If that's not the case, I was at a site visit at the Colebrook Preserve in Harwich, and they installed an accessible trail throughout that property. And I'll reach out to Connor, he's their land steward, get that contact information from that company, and perhaps they could be a plan B for us if the DPW is able to do it. I think given our timeline for the project, if it's something we want to tackle this winter, that's certainly a time when DPW has more time in their schedule to do something like this. So I think we'll get a better gauge on that at the site visit. So next month we'll have a more detailed update.
Exciting. That
Yeah.
feels like that could be easy.
that would be great if that worked that way. I mean,
That is exciting because we've asked them before if they, and just they never answered. So it's nice to, but then the ADA issue in the town is coming up as something that's going to get a lot of focus over the next few years. So that might also be part of it.
As part of this strategic plan.
Yeah, as part of the strategic plan, but the town also did a ADA self-evaluation 2 years ago and determined there was quite a bit of work to be done.
well, we're on cutting edge here, Karen.
We are. And maybe it would be nice if we were the first ADA project finished.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, well, that we have hopes for, because you have John Ruffley gonna look at it. To me, it'd be a good project
It
for
would
them.
be a good
They've already done it once,
Yeah.
so.
You
in the
know what
winter.
to expect.
And yeah, so, okay. And when we took that walk with Scott, Mike, I mean, they were very positive on it.
Yeah, they love
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's the type of project
Yeah.
they think is worthwhile. So,
Mhm. Just keep in mind, we do have to run it past mass wildlife because it is a priority habitat area. So
So would that be, how would that work, since it's,
once some actual plans are sorted out, then it would have to go to them for review.
okay,
all right,
that was done when the first phase was installed?
Yeah, that was done for that and for the restoration work that's been ongoing.
Wonder,
Because it does have a number of actual rare and threatened and endangered species on the state list.
So is there a file?
Yeah,
For the
trying to
Sandy
think
Meadow
where-
work, because
where
I know there's a
file, it's probably on our
plan.
servers.
Yeah. So
Oh.
so we picked the expansion side where there's a minimal amount of broom crowberry was one of the big things when they first did the site. That seems no longer to be on the state list of such species. So by going to the right side of the trail as you head out, it bypasses most of anything that's state listed. So it should be, I think, should be okay with them.
Okay.
And it's a fairly minimal increase in width.
Right. So I sent myself a note. I'm gonna dig through our files a bit and see if I could find some of the other, or the past determination from.
Yeah,
Perhaps it'll be good to have at the site visit too.
yeah, but it would have been a while ago because the last trail went in 2013, I think.
Okay.
So, yeah. So it definitely, I think, would want a new review. Yeah. I just don't want us to lose sight of that and then wind up getting smacked about it later. So I'm the one who complains that people don't get that taken care of.
Great, I'm moving on, okay, well, we're back again. I'd like to get some information on the trailhead sign. We're working with Paul Lag on. the big
Correct, so
extra copy,
that's the sign that
Yeah. The map
that
of
we
property,
need the updated map.
Yeah.
To go on.
you're right,
Yep.
and
So I met with Paul about our map initiative. And he's gonna put together a form for us to use in the field to collect data from. It's gonna be like similar to our monitoring form. And the Open Space Committee provided me with a list of items they wanted to be on the maps, our updated maps. So I passed that along to Paul, and he's going to compile those items into a list. And so essentially you'd be in the field, there'll be a drop-down menu. And so let's say I want to mark a bench. So you click the bench on the drop-down menu, you can collect GPS points of where you're standing in the field. And then that data will then be able to be uploaded into GIS, which is what Paul uses to make the maps. If you could pinpoint where on the property those are. For a property like Sandy Meadows, we don't necessarily need trail data because you can clearly see the trail on satellite imagery. So essentially you could just trace that with a cursor. And that's gonna be pretty easy.
and right, but we don't necessarily want to update that map until after the ADA trail is in.
Yeah, so, I mean, if we know where the ADA trail is gonna go, we could preemptively, mark
Well,
that out.
Yeah.
The end point.
We know that distance too.
We know it, so can
We-
we just dated line or something, just so.
Coming soon.
Yeah, we know it's 950 feet further from the current ADA end of the trail. And
Is it-
approximately, when you go out there, you can see a natural stopping point for that in
Right.
any case.
So, how long will it take Paul to prepare this
The form,
software?
the form shouldn't take long at all.
Okay.
And I'll send him another note. Cause it's a one question form,
Oh.
so to speak. So it's like something that can be put together pretty
And who
quickly.
fills out the,
So it'd be someone from.
From us,
so,
your
either
open
from the
space.
committee
But I'm
or
writing down,
out in the field too.
Paul's gonna prepare this software for our phones or from another device, what?
It's from your phone.
From
So
the
it'd be
phone.
just like, it's the
Yeah.
same website that our monitor.
Okay, yeah. All right,
And so it's gonna be a website that you go to.
right, and then we'll have people from the committee walk out, click where the bench. Well, one thing, Karen, we know the length of the path. Now, one of the things on that drop down was like benches.
Right.
We haven't begun to talk about that.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask about that at the end of the meeting on other business, because we haven't really gotten back to that whole bench discussion
Right.
Well-
in a while either.
You can't, the trailhead sign
Mhm.
is, we don't have any of that other stuff. We still need a trailhead sign
Right.
in there soon. And it just be the trail and the ADA two
And the
coming
steps, and the
and
steps
then-
going down,
Yeah.
they're there already.
steps, yeah. So
Yeah.
there really isn't
Can't
anything
that be done
else.
by the satellite?
Well-
without-
Yeah, there isn't, we don't have any benches, we don't have other stuff, and we shouldn't wait.
Right.
We shouldn't wait on a trail sign
Sure.
for things that might not happen.
Right, but we did want to include options for benches when we do the ADA trail, because we had picked out and it's important to have benches if we're going to make that trail more accessible.
Right.
Too, and we had talked about placement on that, but yeah, we don't have it yet
Would-
for the map.
Yeah.
Would we be able to edit the, that trail?
We could edit
edit
we could
where the-
edit
when
map, but
benches
it's
are-
on the sign,
Yeah,
we could
no.
edit-
Oh. Goodness.
I think we put something up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the sign is general, and then you can get printouts and trifolds or whatever that have.
And
more
QR
specifics,
codes,
And
right.
QR codes,
Right.
yeah, for resting areas.
Yeah.
Perhaps, and we have a couple Vista locations along the trail, perhaps that's something. we want.
Well, we have the two lookouts where these,
Where the
signs are going, and we know
so-
where those two signs are
Yeah.
going.
Mhm.
Right.
So
So
there's
you don't-
two vistas right there,
Right,
and we know the location of the
And
signs.
whatever the sign. I mean, I think it needs to be flexible, because you're always gonna need
Right.
some updates, so if we then, 2 years, if we get a sign in the next year. And then we get a couple benches in, there should be a way to not have to do a whole new sign, but to.
Right.
Stick on, do
Do a decal.
something that's a paste on, or, it's not ideal, but. Right, otherwise we're not ever gonna have a sign, because we
Yeah.
won't have everything
Yeah.
done.
True.
So,
It's the same thing.
well, it's like a dust
Yeah,
thing. Yeah. Are they still fixing the town hall, or are they done?
They're done.
yeah.
Okay, I
think they're
can't
done.
blame the
Done.
construction. But it's like,
So that should be fairly straightforward without
fairly-
all having to do with, I mean, we can still do a GPS tool.
yeah, I think we're.
Is the satellite imagery for the trail? Well, you have that drone shot we were gonna use, right?
Yeah, but I mean, then GIS has their own satellite.
Right, is
imagery.
that the high enough resolution? So then when we submit it to Fossil, we'll be able to pick it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It will
it's
be.
good.
yeah,
Let's get
GIS,
one, let's do it.
yeah, I mean, GIS, in the software, I think it's designed to make maps. that
Okay,
Go
so
on.
that's, so we don't wanna go through that again. All right, so let's just recap what I think I've heard. That we're going to have a general sign created using the satellite, the GIS program.
GIS, yeah,
Yes, with the extension marked off because we know how far it is. We have the funding for it.
Yeah.
The stairs are there. You're gonna mark those. We know two vistas because we know where the two signs are gonna go, the overlooks.
Yeah.
So that could be included. And then the benches we could put on, like Joanna says, later. Karen, is your hand going up over there?
No, I'm just
Okay.
listening. I'm sorry, I just
Out
bugged
loud
out.
here. Is that what
I
we?
bugged out for a second. and
Okay.
now-
So that's what we would like to request.
I like that.
Okay, so that's what we know what we're doing so far.
so on one of our current map, we have parking, we've got one vista. We've got steps. And then we've got this spur trail off to Route 6.
Right. That goes
Right.
there, that's still there.
Yeah,
So is this general trail layout?
Yeah, with the ADA,
The
future
ADA extension going
extension.
here,
right?
but there's additional trails that show up on satellite through the center.
Those are
Right.
just social trails.
Okay, so those
Yeah,
aren't.
Those
trails.
aren't the true trails. I mean,
Okay.
those need to be blocked off more.
Yeah, one of those is a coyote track, and I
Yeah.
think
we
we
can't,
decided,
we block them off, they won't care. that
Right,
they're
I know,
around.
I know, I'm
Right.
just saying.
right,
It's
right,
not
but-
official walking
That
path.
looks good, Alex.
the bowl sign was gonna block off the center one.
Correct,
Right.
correct, the first one, yeah.
But
And
what,
then I thought Nicole Payne had
Yeah,
moved one
so
of, some
Alex-
fencing over one of the other ones.
it'll be like the real picture.
Yeah, I mean, this
Yeah,
is like
it's,
what?
um,
This is-
Yeah, it's gonna be, that with the.
So, but none of these are gonna be marked.
But
It's just gonna
can't
be,
you overlay that
With a color.
Right.
We need that to be a color.
Sort of dotted line that shows the trail part. Can there be a overlay to that?
so there would be
Yeah.
an overlay
Right,
Or whatever.
Yeah.
that would match this.
right.
Yes,
Right,
right,
that's-
right.
So I guess my question is, leave out,
Get rid of the little ones.
don't overlay on any of these central trails.
No,
Right.
They're not. hardly
Right.
don't
central
belay
trails.
those are not.
When you do the loop, you're not supposed to be able to cut
Yeah.
through.
Yeah, it would be nice if the ADA portion might be a different color, just to
Yeah.
Yeah, that's-
highlight. yeah.
Right, right.
Is there a
Instead of
standard
a solid
ADA
line, it's
color?
a hatch, that's pretty
Is it
classic
blue?
for,
Yeah,
to
well,
be,
on our current map, it's blue.
yeah, but I think that sort of
Yeah.
not
Sure.
universal, but frequent for to come is a hatch, where the main trail, you know, main thing is solid, and then hatch means coming soon. That's what they
Okay.
do in subway lines, you know,
Yeah,
new
right.
subway lines coming.
So do we want this to say coming soon or?
Well,
No, I
in the
don't think so.
legend, it would be ADA,
ADA.
future ADA, and
Yeah,
then,
future ADA extension.
Yeah.
Because we know we're gonna get it.
But this,
Well,
that's
we-
on the trailhead sign.
Yeah, you would want it to just say
ADA trail.
ADA trail.
Yeah.
not future.
Yeah,
So how about this? Can I aim to have a drafted Sandy Meadows map for the committee by the next meeting?
terrific,
Yeah, that'd be great.
terrific.
Right, I like that, the ADA, instead of put coming soon.
Yeah.
You, when the sign goes up and it's still not there, there can be then the added thing,
Right.
coming soon, that we pull it off.
Right,
When it's
right.
done.
As
So,
much as we know that it is gonna
Right.
happen, we stick it on the
Right.
sign.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, so for the next meeting, we'll look at something. Terrific. All right, the next item is volunteer monitoring app. The field testing looks good. We're,
Yeah.
assume we're ready to go with it. I
Haven't
mean,
had
we'll,
any issues with it.
we will be, we'll just deal with them. Just as I was thinking about that, I just wanted to go back history wise. When we pitched this idea for developing this app with Higgins, it was because at that time, the high schoolers used it, the cross-country team trained there. Now the route, because of the blocking off at the end of Higgins, they use part of it, but they exit a different way onto Nauset Road. So keep in mind that now that we have technology that young people are interested in, I think it'd be wonderful if we could find something that maybe we could pitch to the ecology club or something at the high school. This is a project, we could use your help. And, you know, and high school kids have terrific energy.
We could do it at the booth too. with the-
Well, the thing is, they're not gonna go to Windmill weekend.
yeah,
No.
So,
It's true.
but just
Just
keep
go
in
on.
mind
Comes a
about,
kid to the-
I was thinking, keep in mind of things we might want done by young people. And we're not gonna see them at Windmill weekend. We have to reach out to a,
I
whoever.
was saying
the-
and, not or.
Yeah, yeah,
But
right.
no, that's a
yeah.
great idea.
Just keep that in mind. I don't wanna lose that, idea.
What did you say?
Scouts.
Yeah.
Boy Scout.
Boy Scouts like those kinds of things too, right?
You know, they-
Yeah.
merit badges,
Or
Oh.
Eagle projects too.
Eagle
Yeah.
project.
well.
Well,
Filling
they-
out a monitoring form, is
Well,
not
yeah.
creating
Yeah.
it, and inventing it would be
Yeah.
a legal
Yeah,
project, but
Yeah.
monitoring it should be like
Doing the
just one of those
resolution for the
badges.
signs
but
would be
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was-
right. Would you like to create a sign?
Right, you could just tap into the ecology club around it.
I bet you
All-
could.
And that would be an extension of us.
Jeez, I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Question,
Great idea.
okay. On this. Is this gonna use any of those CPA funds, or do we need to return the CPA funds for the stewardship app?
Interesting question.
Cause
Yes,
it,
because it was, Karen helped me out here. Was it 5-ish? In the 5,000?
yeah, it's like.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, about 5,000 something.
5,200, 5,500.
Yeah, okay. So Alex, you did it all. So you get the bonus.
Boy, Angela. Angela.
But
You know, was there did the committee have a company in mind when they initially made the request?
No,
no,
no.
Okay.
no. It was, so what is due to CP, what I would recommend is that a report go to CPA saying this project was accomplished without the need for town CPA funds, thanks to the brilliant the brilliant staff and volunteers. And then it goes back into the open space fund, the source from
Okay.
whence it came.
Okay.
But
Right.
I love that. So
So this is still using the PeopleSoft software as the base?
Correct, yes.
We just didn't need to pay the programmer.
So it was town staff
Right, okay. Just getting it clear.
who helped with it, yeah.
We should put that in.
Yeah.
We can't, okay.
I don't know.
So CPA is meeting on after Windmill weekend, Tuesday, September 11th. And so if there's, I don't know, Karen, I know you did most if not all of the work on the application for that. I
Mhm.
don't know if I have a copy of it.
I
should.
have it. I have
You have
it
a
here.
copy?
Yeah, I have
Do-
it
do you-
here.
Do you want me to write a letter withdrawing?
Well, well, it can be just a simple one page
Mhm.
with the data of here was the application, here's what was accomplished.
Here was the cost.
Here was the cost. 0 funds returned, yeah.
Do they want
That
to
would close
see,
out the whole
how would we share the app with them?
You
Or
don't,
they
they
just,
don't,
they don't, okay, they don't
I
need to
wanna
do
say
that.
they don't care, but no, they just want a one page,
Okay,
a quick report. So Karen or Alex, I don't know.
yeah. Okay, you wanna do that, Karen?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
do that.
All right,
One question I had is that we've been sharing that link to the form, I think internally. Is it something we want to link to the website
Yeah.
as far as like
Yes.
accessibility?
I think we should also post it on Facebook. Are you, like, can I do that officially, like on the open space committee page?
can we just wait a minute on that decision? Because I
Yeah.
think I'd rather wait to see if we're gonna tie it into the volunteer program. So that
Yes.
we know who's using the app.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that later. Good idea, though. All right, so the monitoring app, we're going to create the letter returning the funds.
Mhm.
Well, thank you, Alex, for getting that
Yeah.
Yeah,
done.
Yeah.
And was it who was the other staff?
Paul helped me with it.
And there was another
Angela.
Angela. I'll compose, I'm gonna do a note, that's why I was thinking, I'm gonna from the open space committee, thanking, that's why. And if you think of any other people that helped to,
Okay,
because I'm not gonna do this to next week.
okay. Paul and Angela were the,
Yeah, Paul and Angela. Thanking them for their assistance on
And
this.
Alex.
And Alex, yeah,
and so when this is,
right. So
Yeah.
that's, right. Okay,
and so when this form is linked to the open space website, do you want it just on the side here?
Probably, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it
Mhm.
has, yeah, it's for us to access
Yeah.
right now, so.
I'll just call it property monitoring.
And that would bring up the form itself right away, or
Yeah,
would it be better to have it like bring up a page that explains what the form is and what the plans are, and then have the form? So rather than just pulling up a form.
well, I was looking through our files and we had a definition of, a volunteer's responsibility. Would you like to be a volunteer once a month monitoring properties? We have some of those things already drafted from the past.
So would it make more sense to have a volunteer link and
Yeah.
then,
I think you're onto something, Karen. I think hold off on putting it on the website while we talk
Okay,
this through
sure.
and come up with the way we want the link to explain things to people.
I do think when we get to it, have a separate thing just to get to the link. Sometimes people just want to get, they already know what it is.
Oh, okay,
They don't
right,
wanna
and
get
that's
to
the
the
point.
link. Why do I have to?
Why do I have to read all this again?
Right.
Yeah,
So
but it
they could have a descriptive.
it would be the stuff to read and then the link, yeah, there, but just to have a link that pops up a form that rather
Maybe-
than using that as an opportunity to educate a little bit and maybe get volunteers.
The type-
Also then it starts to clutter that sidebar. If you
Under
put that and then you put volunteers and
volunteer information or something.
Yeah.
And then under that, one is the link, one is the concept, the philosophy.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And how to get it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, if we just think about that a little bit, we can get that organized. Terrific. Website and trail map updating. Linda, Rob, for sure, and did a lot of work on this. Wiley is complete. It's all in yellow arrows. These are these arrows on the tree.
Yeah, just arrows. on trees.
Nickerson was in blue, Cottontail is in orange,
And they're both complete.
and they're both complete.
Sandy Meadow's complete, and I don't know what the color is. It's
Okay.
complete. Higgins is the only one that's not.
Well, Southeast and Boat Meadow.
Southeast Tan.
I wanted to go with you because I know what Nicole did.
Oh,
So I want to explain, it's a little tricky up near Peach Road, you know, that entrance there is a little circular. So I'd like to go with you on that.
I don't think I've fully walked that trail. So if you're looking for someone else to tag along, I could.
Sure.
I would go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too, and now I know it's becoming like.
Now
a
it's an
public
open-
thing. I
open
know,
public
I
thing.
know, but I love that trail.
Right,
It's so
right. Well, you were the
nice.
reason, when you were there, you would come in with the
Yeah.
maybe,
And I was
just
like.
your son
all
at that point.
disoriented. I
yeah,
was
so
like,
then we went, it was Keith and Nicole.
Yeah,
Went and I met them and Nicole was really good at this, at visualizing where people needed an arrow. Yes, we'll set a,
why don't we just do a public, nobody's gonna come, you know? And just.
Can we set it as a
Yeah,
meeting?
right, cause
Yeah,
then we
yeah,
can
just
all
have to-
go. and-
I talked to Linda about that. She said for walks, work, we don't have to
Post.
post it. Don't make any votes,
Oh, okay.
but working, talking,
Is that a-
she said, we don't have to post those because then it's weather dependent and people dependent.
Right.
So,
That's better. Okay,
can,
just let us know.
yeah, right. Try to early September. Everything is being moved to
I
early
know.
September though. That's the
Well,
only problem.
Early September is.
Yeah, I know. It's, yeah,
know.
everything is being moved to the early September. And then Alex, we talked about, would you be able to use the Adobe program, you know, the trail maps we have on the website, to use the colors that they've done, where
Yes.
that little map is, to have the color the same as the markers?
Yes,
It would work with Adobe.
that would work with Adobe. I just want to make sure I get the colors right.
Sandy Meadow, we need the color. We need to choose a color for Sandy Meadow.
Want me to go look and see?
Did you and Rob go up to Sandy Meadow? You just forget the color, okay.
I just figured that.
Oh, that's, okay, so we'll find that out. It's one trail.
I know, it's only one.
So there would be Wiley complete, Nickerson complete, Cottontail complete, and Sandy Meadow complete. That would be 4 to get complete on the website.
Okay.
It's right behind. It's right behind you.
I'll just go.
And you, if you could shoot us that information.
Yep.
And an email, and then he'll have it
I
to do the
I can
Adobe.
just trace it over. It'll be
Yeah.
really easy.
It's the first arrow far in. I don't mind, it's a very.
I don't even think we need it, but anyway.
Okay, I know, it's pretty obvious.
Thank you for doing the trail marking.
Yes,
Thank you, yeah.
well done.
Yeah, no, it was, the ones I've seen were
I
good.
climbed the tree.
I was thinking, I was like.
Yeah, they're all,
Wiley,
you,
I'm
you
like,
didn't nail
"How
any
get up
in.
So far.
You didn't nail
Drop.
any in.
The low ones went up.
One other thing we wanted for on the website trail maps was a small paragraph, short paragraph. And we have some of those on that, priority land management, document
Right.
that we wrote. So some of those are already done. I have down to do a small committee to look at what we wrote up originally, see if we want to amend it, and then give that information to you to add on to the maps.
I'm happy to be a part of that. since
Okay. Since you were very heavily involved in that. Okay, Kate, send me an email on when we're gonna do this, okay? You and I will do it.
I see the challenge, yeah.
Good, we'll do that. So that's good. You know, this committee, there's been so much disparate little threads, but I'm really getting the feeling that now some of them are coming together.
We're good.
No, I feel like.
Just beginning. I'm starting to have some hope.
You were gonna say that.
I was thinking of
Closure.
closure, hope,
Get
that
the cork
closure,
out of the-
closure's a
cork
good
out
word.
of the bottle, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Right.
It's a big.
Yeah, having
like-
somebody consistent with us to do that has really it's made the difference.
Nah, not going
Okay.
anywhere.
Okay, so we good. 3:30?
Next.
3:30.
All right, now, strategic planning discussion, Karen and Michelle. You sent off the, goals.
Yeah, I
And-
sent, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll let you handle what you want from us on that, please.
Well, I sent you off a presentation that was given to the Conservation Commission last week, and also the sets of action steps, goals and objectives and action steps, and asked you guys to look at the areas relevant to the work that this committee is doing. And I hope you've taken the time to do that. I can run through it for you, but I was hoping that you had read through it.
Right?
So,
Do you need me to do an
No, I
overview,
mean,
or was the,
Just to give some responses. I
Yeah,
can
so-
start when I looked at it, let me get my notes here.
so
Can I
this is
just say-
draft, and right now we're just looking for comments, so we can adjust things that won't work or that are missing, and or the language captures it wrongly, or
Just on it for like objective 2. The land management. plan.
objective 2 on which,
Where am I looking at the thing? Clean environment and resilient community.
okay,
So it's organized by, there are 4 goals. And each goal has a number of objectives.
Yep.
And which we're trying to make SMART in the sense of measurable. And then each objective has a ton of action steps, right? So the 4 goals, and Karen. I
yeah,
would-
you're doing good. I
It-
thought that was
because
clear, but
there's-
if we're gonna talk about it, we need to know which
Exactly, so which goal or
goal and then which slide you're on
Under-
would be a help.
the goal, and so there's also, Karen, and this is an update, a subcommittee now, it's Paul and Hope and me. And yesterday we met and we're trying to identify goal owners for the
Mhm.
4 goals so that that person can sort of
Right, but
be within the goal, but the idea here, I think, is just to get input.
yeah, but right. So here we just want input on what's before you, and there will be another iteration that assigns responsible parties, and that might set some target dates or completion dates. But right now it's just, these are what have been identified as priorities within specific category groups. And goal 1 is largely about the environment and resilient community. And we also did add, there's some sections in sorry, trying to read in the dark, in the quality of goal 3, the quality of life and diversity of residents. That's where we put the ADA trail in one of those categories under the ADA section. And then there's something in addition in the goal 4, which speaks to excellence in government and communication. So I think, Francis, you wanted to start with the
language
goal.
was clear,
Mhm.
as I went through your goals. Some apply, I could see that open space would be included in the objectives.
Oh, yeah, this is.
But we weren't that far yet, right? You don't want us to sign up. No, not yet.
So this was.
So we're
Well-
talking goals.
This is.
Yeah, so we wanted you to look at the goals and then look at the action steps. Which
So,
I
yeah, I
Yeah.
think this is just sort of initial, there's a round table thing with each of the committees to get initial input on this. Like, is there a major objective that was missed? Is
Oh.
there a priority that hasn't been identified? Is this irrelevant, now, given the work that we've been doing? And then on the 4th of September, there's a public session to get general input. It's at the library. It's from 4 to 6. What? Go ahead.
Yeah. From 4 to 6 at the library.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's,
And then
it's-
there'll also be a public opportunity for general public comment throughout the rest of September.
and I think it's the part of what we're hoping to say to the public is we've initially vetted this with the other standing committees and boards for the town, just first pass. So that's
Right.
what this is.
Oh.
It's
And,
not,
mhm.
which Francis's name goes on this.
Yeah, and you guys have seen an earlier, or we've discussed it earlier in other meetings. But this one is we're getting feedback from stakeholder committees and boards. And it's also been looked at by various town staff and departments. So what we're hoping for right now is for your feedback on the specifics that relate to the open space committee's work.
Be specific to where we are now. But
Well-
how do we document our progress? On
Uh,
that? I was looking
oh,
at
yeah.
for instance, identify funding sources available to support the purchase of additional parcels. Now, Joanna just recently sent out an email of a state grant for forestry. I mean, would that be the type of thing we would document?
Well,
That 5 years? But that's further on. That's not what we're talking about now.
well, that would be, as projects come up and you need to identify funding for them. So it's I think it's more of what's the project and then identifying the funding as the goal. But right now, I think we're just looking for you guys to look through the items that are highlighted as goals and actions to see if we missed anything, or you'd like to add something. And we are going to, once the open space and rec plan is done, the strategic plan will get an update from those action items as well. And right now we haven't put any time limits on things except that the work in this 5-year plan should be done by the end of fiscal year 2029.
I saw that.
Okay,
Joanna,
so yeah,
So, since I was involved with the last strategic plan, and I haven't been involved in this one at all, so I was looking at this first pass, and you guys have done a great job. I thought it looked, first time looking through that I said, wow. And I didn't see anything big missing. So, great work. The only specific thing I wondered about was on page 12. That's what's going to look through with the remediation and flooding plan. You already, in some of the areas are coming with, here's like what our top priorities would be. And the herring runs are great because there's certainly a problem with the one to Herring Pond. But I thought that was great to have that as a priority kind of project for remediation and flooding issues. Well, but then it has the the name of that creek. I don't know.
Avelinos Creek.
Yeah, and is that that's up by Route 6, right? That's the Route 6 salt
Yeah,
marsh
that right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right near the Southeast Tim Conservation Area.
Okay, then I'm lost again.
Oh no, that's not right. No, I'm sorry. There's
Route 6.
this is
Governor Press.
This is the culvert at Governor Prince and Great Salt Marsh. So it's Route 6.
Route 6. Okay.
Route 6.
And I wonder the other screaming one, when you pull in, because low-lying roads, I know is a bigger part of it.
Big part of this.
Samoset Bridge Road and Dyer Prince. And Dyer Prince, that culvert and coming in from Rock Harbor and under Dyer Prince has been a major issue for a long time too, and it's way too small. So I would consider adding that. I don't know, they're both incredibly challenging, but the Dyer Prince one has dual, well, Route 6, if it overwashes, we're in trouble too out here on the no evacuation part of the peninsula. But Dyer Prince, there are places, I know they've had plans in the past to widen that culvert, and neighbors got all, because it will open up and flood some private property. ECF has several conservation properties there where a planned open up and diverting onto ECF conservation lands is not perfect, but it's a way to have salt marsh expansion and could be directed that way. And there's an opportunity here anyway, that was my, since I didn't see the Dyer Prince one, it would be nice to see if that can get back on there.
Okay, so where specifically, just so I can have it in my notes, the culverts?
It's, when you see it.
Yeah, but I can't run right out and look at it.
Yeah, there's an open area both sides, and you cross, and I don't know what the number is. If we pull up a map, I can probably show you, but that's something when Neil Andrus, I know, was a DPW, they were working on doing something, but they didn't talk to people, and then
The Dyer Prince is in here.
It is? Okay, take that back. Well, that's for low, so that's under
the low-lying roads.
Low-lying roads.
So what do you?
But on page 12, it's flooding and remediation and opening up a culvert. It's a double project, I guess.
Got it.
It belongs in.
Well, we have projects across projects across multiple categories that relate to each other.
Just into the thing on page 12 with the herring. If Route 6. I never knew that. The Governor Prince was on there, then Dyer Prince is a similar and probably more reachable because of the opportunity to work with conservation ECF and where.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the salt marsh restoration and ECF land was considered in the low-lying road piece.
No, it's not salt marsh restoration. It's opening up a culvert and salt marsh and flooding, which kind of leads into salt marsh expansion. But I know 270 Dyer Prince, I think is right there. And that's I think that's where it is on the map, sort of just after that, yeah. So anyway, but I thought that it's a great, I know it's
That's
not
Mhm.
start, you've been working on it for a while.
Well, that could probably be accomplished as part of the low-lying roads.
Yeah, it's,
Work.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
okay.
But
Yeah.
ECF owns this and back here and Sims was one right here. And so, I don't know, it would engineering, you open this up and it floods. Is there a way to direct it to flood into, I don't know. I'm not.
Well, if it opens up and floods private property, then you start getting into the discussions that they had up at in Wellfleet and
Yeah.
other places. That, but if it only would open up and flood, let's say ECF land or town-owned land, and then it allows for salt marsh expansion or regression, there probably is funding to be had for that kind of work. Because Governor Healy's been putting out environmental funding all over the place. Yeah. Oh, okay. I made a note of that.
My comments are too specific for the discussion now. So therefore, when we get nitty gritty, I agree with.
Well, Francis, if you want to pass along and email your comments, I can have them available for when we do get into those discussions.
Oh, okay. But I agree with Joanna, the overall reading was quite a feat. Congratulations. Very comprehensive.
Yeah. So, anything else in the clean environment goals that came to anybody's attention?
Did you discuss, remind me, I'm sorry, the funding and the staff support, because that's what happened in the last one.
Right. So the committee is, and town staff, Paul, Jackie, et cetera, is well aware that in the last plan, the most successful parts of the plan were from projects led by staff, and that committees did not have sufficient staffing to complete a number of the projects assigned to it. So that is a consideration in this plan, and part of the way that's going to be handled is that there's going to be some evaluation of staff needs overall. There is, and it got knocked out of this copy, but it's going back in, a review of staffing for a conservation. And then there also is going to be a requirement for committees that each committee produce an annual plan. The first one to be done by the end of 2025 that lays out the work the committee wants to do over a year's period, and that will help the town allocate staffing and funding for those. And there will be some guidance on how to prepare those.
That's good. That's good.
So
This goal for is
the idea is that there are a lot of projects here, and how can they best get completed? Funding has to be on the idea also is that some of these things are here so that the plans can be worked on, and that as funding opportunities come up, we can pull from this priority list and say, oh, we have plans for this, we've done work on this, and that puts us on the head of the line for funding opportunities. So I think it's similar with our work as well. So,
and the other thing I think, and I don't know how it was with the last plan, but I think there's going to be some quarterly reporting or, feedback from the committees against achievement toward what was identified in the strategic.
Right, and we did some of that. We did that in the last plan as well. But we're trying to figure out a way to make that more efficient than the last plan. So, yeah. Anything else from?
Anything else?
And anything not open space in the plan that caught your attention that you'd like to give feedback on? Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Windmill Weekend, already?
I know, right?
September 7th.
Is it all day? I mean.
It's like 10 to
10
4,
to
3.
3.
10 to 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
middle.
So
seven.
if you could keep that day, Rob said he had a table, I could bring chairs, Rob has the tent. We have to think about what we want to show the public. And I thought if we could get those trail maps with the colors and run off some color copies to have to show, because it's amazing. People say, oh, I didn't know you have this here. And then
Yeah, I love that.
this thing here,
I think
we
that's
had
great.
worked on, and if the committee agrees, may take a vote on this, because this is a new document, that we would also have this at
I'd
the,
like to-
this. And then, contacts us and learn more, and then this could also go on the volunteer section of what we're putting on the website. This could be explaining, this explains what we're doing. And then we have the app,
Do you know where we're gonna be located?
not yet, she hasn't got
Next
back to me,
to-
she'll be,
East Tim Dog Owners
well,
Association.
when
Oh,
we,
really?
No, that would be great. I
There's
don't
a
know
lot
if
of
we will,
traffic there.
because they
Lots
got
of people
parties, yeah, people, well, that might be a good idea for that, but.
well, you
get-
know, it came up,
To get good.
I had requested, and then that request fell through when we were back.
Are
in
they
the
doing
middle.
the town thing in the center?
Yes, they are, and she sent that out, and I said, they didn't really work for us, we need to be on the outside. And I said, next to a community, and I put the EDOA or the Friends of the Forest Committee, that's a nice one too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And her email back at that time, which was beginning of the summer, was, I can't guarantee I will try. So I haven't seen
Okay.
that yet, Joanna, and I imagine it'll come out next week.
We send her candy.
I know, I agree.
Bribes accepted.
The central location didn't work, so we're gonna have this.
Is there an overall map of Eastham that has the open spaces identified? Does that exist?
No.
It sort of does. The town GIS has some of that and Mass Mapper has some of that, but neither one is fully up to date.
Yeah, most are like the main, like Wiley and Nickerson, right? Like
Yeah,
not.
and there's a state, I don't know who it's Oliver or no, whatever, the state one.
Well,
when-
that's that's Mass Mapper. It used to be Oliver, now it's Mass
Well,
Mapper.
protected land, but again, it's not.
But there isn't a thing that we can have as a backdrop that shows where all the open
No, that would be
spaces.
nice.
in Eastham.
ECF has, we did a brochure, design for a brochure, which is now out of date, but that we did that, including, here's town owned, there's a legend with town owned, ECF conservation land and stuff, and it's a nice map, but that needs to go back to sort of Paul Lagg's thing, because he does it, and he can, yeah.
Yeah, Mass Mapper, I think, has most of ECF land, and it has the seashore land, and it has other privately held conservation areas. I'll send you a link, Michelle.
Okay, great.
But we
Yeah,
don't
so this does remind me that now that we have all those CRs done, it might not be a bad idea to send an updated list of open space properties, or at least an addendum to what the state has to the open space Mass Mapper people,
Yeah.
to see if they can put that in their pile for when they're doing updates.
But we're not gonna get the big map for
Yeah,
Jewish
no.
map, so let's just work with the
But your
small
good
maps.
point, it's to
and-
not-
and
I mean,
everybody-
that's like, here it is, right?
Yeah, and that would be terrific, it's a great idea. And this we're agreed, we can put out, we
Yeah.
can print these out.
Is there contact? I don't remember, and I know I have it.
No, its contact is Alexander Bates
Oh,
Conservation
good,
Agent.
okay.
We had changed that, so that's good, because it keeps everything focused and centralized.
Hey, can you think of any kid-friendly stuff we could have that That's open space related.
not plastic and not
That's
bad
not,
for you and not
like a dog food bag or the big.
Yeah,
that's plastic.
I'll think about it.
I don't know.
It's always a challenge. every
We
year.
could just show them pictures of baby turtle hatchlings, which I have on my phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, we need to think
Name
of-
this cute.
That is unbelievable. We could just have a tablet running that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, can I do one?
Go ahead, of
Diverting
course.
story. Steve Griffin, who's one of the turtle volunteers at Wellfleet Bay, sent his report the other day and they had hatchlings. A family with 2 children, ages 3 and 6, joined the team. And the 6-year-old in getting to hold the hatchling declared that this was more fun than visiting that candy store in Provincetown.
That is a win.
It was
Oh,
that candy store.
I know the candy store he's talking about.
I do too.
Sure.
So-
Yeah, so there's 2 weeks to think about. If you think of a cute thing for kids,
I know.
Now, Bill Allen actually brought hatchlings last Windmill weekend. He brought a box full of hatchlings. I don't know if we can.
ECF had a,
He does
Wait.
Terrapin Cove, which is a town-owned conservation space, which we don't encourage the people to, public to
Yeah.
crop around on, but Bill brought hatchlings to Windmill weekend. I can ask him.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
don't get
that's,
damaged by.
No,
cats.
he won't, no, they're fine. They're fine.
It's been like a-
I would ask him if he's gonna be around and would he, and I don't know if. I should know, is he ECF doing any? I don't think so, but I'll ask Bill.
We get little stickers or something. Like a
Stickers are
friend of-
fun.
Oh, I can order some. Like I'm
Amazon
friend of
has, stuff.
OS. PCM open space. Do we have an acronym for ourselves? EFP.
OSC.
Yeah, that's the committee. I mean, something.
Some environmental general sticker,
Yeah, okay.
I think.
I'll order some stickers.
I love whales.
Yeah, that's good. I like hug a
I'm
tree.
sure there's a lot of stickers
tree.
on
Hug
Amazon.
a tree.
I'll
Yeah,
have it.
I like hug a trees.
Thank you.
Hug a
These
tree.
are all
Or-
being now.
we love freshwater sharks.
I love sharks.
Freshwater sharks.
Spiders are good.
Not as many as you think.
That's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Under
that's- you'll have
50,
to remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
You can give them away a birthday.
I
present.
use,
Okay.
I got some little wooden, animals one year and I had them for 2
Yeah,
years.
they were good.
They were cute.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Okay, so you do stickers, then you're gonna ask about the.
Actually, you know,
turtle.
another thing we could do
What?
is thinking of those wooden animals. If
Yeah.
we could find bigger versions of it, they're just like wood, like simple thin wood.
Carved.
They could color them, like we could have
Oh,
markers and
they-
it
do
could
they put
actually
them
be like a
together?
craft. No, but it's just like a flat little wooden animal. Do you have any still?
Are they
No,
from
no,
Amazon?
No, I think
Yeah,
it's gone.
something
I gave them all away the last
Flat
time.
wooden animal.
And then we could just have markers and they could actually
Okay.
like be at our booth with us
Okay.
doing it, or to get them to do it.
Animals.
Or,
Oh,
or you could print out some coloring pages of
Yeah.
nature related things.
I'll take that, Chas. This sounds like fun. That and the strategic plan.
Yeah, it sounds like fun too. That's a couple of good ideas, and we'll keep
Okay.
thinking about that. So
We're
if you
gonna
have
have
any
some
ideas,
activity or something.
and when I get the information on where we are and stuff, I'll pass that on.
Okay.
And
I just thought of another idea, just so that it's just
Good.
coming down.
See, I know you would.
Like,
I
don't
knew
think
you
should do
would.
them all, but whatever's the easiest, you could also do like a pin the tail on the situation. Where you have a poster of something, whether it be like a whale who's missing a tail or something like that, you know, or a turtle that's missing its head or shell or something. And we could just have a bandana and have them do. Like pin the tail on.
Do we have a liability issue with pinning?
Well, I think it'll be cute. Yeah,
Okay.
but it's just another idea.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking about a map. See if
Yeah.
They could like
Right.
take a pin and put it where they live compared to where the open space is.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
something like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I think that's a good thing for thinking
for
ahead.
the future,
A
like
map,
they could write their
a postal
initials
stamp.
on a
Mhm.
little flag
Mhm.
sticker. and they could just stick it on the
Yeah,
map, and then we could
right.
have the map, and they
Yeah.
would feel like they're part of it, you know what I
Totally.
mean?
And Michelle, what we have from Rob also is one of those sandwich boards. So
Yeah.
if we do that activity there, we have a sandwich board in front of the,
Wait, this is just Saturday, right? There's no, they don't do stuff on Sunday, they have just except the parade.
Okay, I'll look at these items.
okay. That's good, good. I think that's enough for now and we'll get
And it's
going.
good to decide now, because it is only not that far away.
Well, it's 2 weeks. Everything is 2 weeks. Everything is 2 weeks away. Okay, on the CPA application ideas for the next one. Remember, we talked in June about kiosks at each property, and then they had them at the Putnam Farms. And that was one idea we had for a CPA application for this fall. What is the date of do you know that yet, Joanna?
Yeah, the first meeting, the public hearing to say, you know, and if you have an idea to come is the 11th of September. The deadline for applications is going to be, it's around November 1st. Yeah, so I guess it would be November 6th.
But you
But-
expect it to show up at September 11th.
Yeah, you don't have to. A lot of people don't. That's the public hearing that's required. And if you do have ideas and questions, that's the time to come but it's not required. And that's when well, I can ask Paul, I know the deadline already. I think it's gonna be,
Well, it's November 1st.
It's
is the-
around the
That's good
1st.
ballpark. Okay, so, any other idea is certainly welcome. One idea I had last June was at the Putnam Gardens, those are the, community gardens. It's Orleans property, and they have a nice kiosk.
I went to look, it's beautiful.
Yeah, with everything arranged in a straightforward way, clear. And Alex, if we like this idea, has information, because you were involved when Orleans is like.
I was involved, actually on 2 separate occasions. One, when the Orleans Conservation Trust, the kiosks on their properties. The town actually kind of used the trust as an example and went ahead and put kiosks on the town properties as well. And so John Janelle, the conservation agent in Orleans, shared with me a while back their packet proposal, because they use CPA funding for theirs as well. So I can share that with the committee and maybe price out.
Yeah, what does an individual kiosk cost?
I think each kiosk is probably a couple $1,000.
Oh, so this would be a big,
It's potentially an expensive upfront
Yeah.
cost, but I mean, they're well made. Yeah, the property for years. Kind of formalizes the trailhead. And we have some issues with signage, having one spot, the property to kind of keep our signage would potentially make things easier.
and they had information about do's and don'ts.
So
You were there for the
Orleans,
first
They
time,
have a trail map.
yeah, the trail map
They have
and,
their regulations,
right.
and any additional information they want to post about the property. Goes to the campuses.
And
And
this
someone
company is functioning,
Yeah,
far
the
as you
company's
know.
called Timber Homes, they're out of Vermont. And, I mean, they build a whole bunch of different things, houses, pavilions. Kiosks, they have a couple different models of kiosks, they have like their standard kiosk, they have a smaller one, larger.
so what are we talking about? Where? I mean, because we've been talking about Sandy Meadow. Where we've already just the trail, not a kiosk. So and Wiley
Well-
Park is this too,
well,
so
I think,
where?
I'm wondering, if Wiley Park would be good.
Could replace the existing one, you know, we could also put another one on the roadside.
Or the Henry Brook entrance.
Kiosks have the name of the property on them, which I think
Yeah.
is really nice.
Can someone take pictures of the Putnam Farm or OCT kiosks so we can see what they look like?
I'll add that to my to-do list.
You're right, though. We would
But it
have to
probably,
choose.
like Higgins property wouldn't,
No,
wouldn't have
we
one there.
don't have one there.
Southeast
Well,
Hamlin,
you know, that,
where would you put, yeah.
well, there's
so
two,
maybe-
there's that, and there's two main entrances. The one where you park your wild card care. Right there.
Yeah.
And that sign there is very raggy, the trail sign, everything, because it's all open to the elements.
Yeah.
And then on Peachtree Lane, there's actually a parking lot.
Right.
But if they're a couple of thousand apiece, we have to think about.
Well, and I think a kiosk is really I don't know. Like Wiley Park, it makes sense that
Right,
this
right
is a
there.
big thing.
Big
We've got a
thing,
lot
yeah.
going on. If it's a smaller area without much, not much to say,
Yeah.
other than here's a trail thing, we don't really need a kiosk to do that. We need, I don't know. Into the same until maybe, I don't know.
Cottontail has a semi kiosk, except it's open. When you walk in at the bottom, there's that
Right.
bulletin board.
Right.
This was nice because it was under glass too.
Yeah.
The paper
Under-
stayed,
It's under a
Plexiglass.
plexiglass, yeah, and
Or
there's a
whatever.
padlock at the bottom.
And you can add, take away things.
Right.
That's the
Right.
nice
And
thing
you can
too, like
control it.
put up the, coyote information, the tick stuff, and then have a place that,
right.
Yeah.
It's one spot.
Yeah. so
Um,
Cottontail, Wiley, it's sort of replacing with the more comprehensive and modern and nicer.
So Wiley has 3 entrances
Right.
and what is still being used in my mind are both the Herringbrook entrance to Wiley.
I wouldn't put one
Vickers.
at the little one with 3 parking spaces, that's, I think the one sign there is fine. Because it's not a major one,
Right,
but
right,
whereas run by the Herrick Bridge Pond,
the
Yes.
Bridge Pond.
Bridge Pond and then
That's
the
why.
main thing, I think that's good. Because the Bridge Pond one could also, it has the herring run. And people go in there to go fishing, it's a little bit a different group, the dog walkers definitely, but fishing and boats going into Bridge Pond there, people, we're saying no boats, but it's not a bad way to get into Bridge Pond. Anyway, I'm getting off more than we want, but
So September 11th is just
Yeah.
informational. So maybe if you could get some information from the company about
Yeah.
the cost.
Yeah,
And then
I could draft up potential.
a general
locations.
presentation the 11th, but then we would finalize our thinking on it. Sounds like we have some questions about the location and the different sizes
Mhm.
there.
Yeah,
But I think Wiley would really get from something looking official. I mean, when you walk in, you drive by the first sign so that you see that, and then you have that bulletin board, but that's kind of, I don't know, doesn't look very official to me with the contact paper. And just something a little bit more formal. That these are the regulations.
So this would be in lieu of the recommendations we made earlier.
Well, no, that sign could go in it, because if you looked at, have you been to the Windmill Park? They had a sign there that had some of those icons that we were talking.
yeah, so like this, the signage recommendation, the signages would stay the same, there would just be a nice
There'll be
formalized place to.
Just one
put up
place.
the-
The signage work that we've done is done. You know what we want to say. It's the presentation.
Correct,
Well, the signage being the signs with the icons on them?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I transmitted the fact that the Conservation Commission thought that there also needed to be signage that actually says very specifically what the rules and regulations are for the area
Good.
in order to be able to properly enforce it. that the stickers are okay as a short-term solution, but not thinking that they would get deployed for this summer, but not as that longer term, the actual regulations need to be posted at these openings, these entrances
Yeah,
to the conservation areas.
so that's but you got to assume people aren't going to read a lot of print. if they're just that
like the whole
involved.
top of this, nobody's gonna read.
Um,
Right.
They
Right,
ha-
but if they're not out there, then it's harder to
Right,
enforce.
I can see you want to include it, but you have to have something that's more user friendly for
Right,
somebody.
Right.
That's what we're
walking,
extracting
And if you have a
from
dog or a
Right.
kid with you, you're
Right.
gonna keep moving.
Right.
Right.
So both, Karen, I think
Both, right, and yeah,
both have their strength.
And I'd also make the argument that a kiosk also kind of draws someone in to the,
Right.
to the information that you're trying to present. You know, people will read.
And it looks official, is what I was thinking too. It
Yeah.
looks
We've
official.
only
rather-
broken like 6 of those rules.
Yeah,
Only 6?
So, yeah, so it's plain on me.
get some information for me
And,
before September 11th. I'll present it, I'll be thinking about it, and then we can vote as a committee. Well, I'll just do a general idea of what we're thinking about, and I can clarify my thinking on it too. And then we can vote as a committee in October and get that done.
So our next meeting is,
Oh, okay, that's,
September 18th.
okay, well, we have a conflict. Karen and Michelle are both at a conference, the 18th,
and
Oh.
Alex as well.
and Alex.
yeah,
Does anybody else know about any conflict? As of this date? What date? September 18th. So, getting another week sometimes is difficult too. So if we had a quorum.
The only thing is my son's girlfriend's due the 13th. So
you don't- you
they
don't know
might,
whether-
they might do a section on the 13th. So I'm not.
Can we meet on the 11th?
Well, it doesn't matter because, I mean, the 18th might even be better because. And she has twins. It's gonna go early. It's not gonna go. week before. So the 18th might be better. No. Kidding. I'm not even involved.
Joanna, do you have any input on?
CPC on the 11th at 5 o'clock, so.
Oh,
I mean,
so the
before
11th.
that, I mean,
Yeah, we have strategic planning at 4.
Four,
we
oh.
can
Yeah,
keep
so
with that.
I couldn't make the 11th either. If
You
we
could
wanted
have
to switch,
put it.
I could not.
Could not.
I could make the following Wednesday, the 25th.
25th.
could also make the 25th.
I would have to Zoom. but that's-
I could also make the 11th. This one.
I'm around the 25th. I'm gonna miss the October 16th meeting though.
Well, then we're going to need a, I'm not here in October, and since we need someone to run the meeting then.
And I'm not here on the 16th, but,
Well, we'll
or
have,
the
maybe.
23rd.
yeah,
Well,
October's going to
Actually, I might be
be,
back. the
going to be an
23rd.
issue.
October.
Okay, well, let's go back to September. Let's go for the 25th of September, because that way if we miss October, we're.
25th of September, okay.
And then, yeah.
I like that better than the
I'm
11th.
probably
November.
Zoom, but
The,
I may not.
are you in the country?
Yes.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
So the 25th,
It's a good question.
Six,
Not the following week.
yeah, okay,
2:30.
25, okay, 2:30 to 4:30, okay, good.
okay,
That's better. I think the 11th is too soon for some of these things we're thinking about.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then, Linda, maybe by the 25th, should be good. The weather will be, the babies will be here
Oh, absolutely.
and,
I'll have
with all your free time, not taking care of twins, we can talk about Cottontail Acres. But that's gonna be in cool weather anyway, yeah. She was gonna lead that,
Okay.
invasive project. Okay. Well, that's exciting, twins. Okay, so the 25th. Any other, Karen, did you say you had some new business to discuss
I
earlier?
don't think, did
Okay.
I?
I don't, when we were talking about something, maybe we already have, touched on it.
I really don't remember.
Okay. That means it will keep.
It might not, but I just don't remember. Was it something that was in email? When
No, no, no.
okay,
Just something that maybe you had said in passing. Okay, September 25th.
oh, I know, it was the dog owners thing, but I already talked about that.
Oh, did we want, what was that date?
That was September 26th from
Next, then 6,
Oh.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock at the Earl Mountain Room.
The issue is the responsibility for the openings in the pond is Conservation Commission. Right, so, open
Right, with
space work last-
input,
Yeah.
input from open space.
Well, when we did the trail monitoring last summer, I don't think we thought much about the openings. Well, we were concerned about damage to the pond, maybe, at least. But then Conservation Commission has responded by thinking you may close off one opening.
Well, we've closing off one as a test project to see if it restores itself, but we also had been talking about how to deal with that erosion along the pond shore there in
right,
general, and also that area in Nickerson where the boat launches had been needs to have some work done,
Right.
which might include filling and planting and so on. I don't know if that's something that CPA might fund. I don't think it is because that's considered maintenance, right? But there is some allowance for that if CPA funds were used for the purchase, and I believe Nickerson wasn't land bank money. CPA land bank.
I don't think so.
I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
but-
think what would be the role of the open space person at this, at your September 26th meeting. Thinking about what we have talked about in the past.
Well, the open space committee has had more interaction with the dog owners association
We did
over
work with them on the monitoring.
yeah.
Um,
And their letter did claim that promises were made about leaving everything open, but as you and I've talked, and Mike and I and so on, nobody seems to have made any such promises.
right. That was not part of the monitoring
Mhm.
we did.
Yeah, so we're inviting them because we want to hear exactly what they want from them
Okay, well,
and talk about, if we were willing to do some of that, what would be involved in making that happen.
right. So let me talk to some of the other members who were involved in the monitoring, and we'll see who can attend that meeting.
Yeah, so even if you are just listening in on
Right.
it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's.
But there will be video, it's a work session. We don't record the work session, so if you do want to listen in.
Okay, all right, I'll share that with Rob too, because he was involved
Mhm.
in monitoring. And
And-
you were,
and I-
and you were, so we're all hearing this, right?
At the very least, I'll prepare a summary of the discussion to share with you guys.
Okay, well, definitely we can monitor it and zoom in.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah, so we'll let you know when the agenda and Zoom information is out and available.
Okay, thank you. All right, anything else anyone would like to bring up? Okay, we're gonna have a motion to adjourn, please.
Second,
Second, okay. Francis, yes. Linda, yes. Joanna, yes.
Karen, yes.
Karen, yes.
Get warm. I know. Me too, I gotta go.